Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
Can a male police officer search a female? The short answer is yes, but it's complicated and depends heavily on the type of search we're talking about. This issue sits at the intersection of your Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and the practical needs of law enforcement for officer safety. Let's break it down into a few key areas. First, we need to understand the most common type of search, the pat-down, also known as a frisk. A pat-down is a limited search of a person's outer clothing to check for weapons. The purpose here is strictly officer safety. For a pat-down to be legal, an officer must have reasonable suspicion that you are armed and dangerous. In this specific situation, a male officer is legally permitted to conduct a pat-down on a female. While many police departments have policies that encourage waiting for a female officer if one is available, it is not a constitutional requirement. The law prioritizes the immediate safety of the officer and the public over the potential discomfort of a cross-gender pat-down, especially if they believe a weapon is involved. However, the rules change significantly when we talk about more invasive searches. This includes things like reaching into a person's undergarments or conducting a strip search. These types of searches require a much higher legal standard, usually probable cause to believe that evidence of a crime is hidden on the person's body, and in many cases, a warrant. For these highly invasive searches, it is almost universally required by law and department policy that the search be conducted by an officer of the same gender in a private location, away from public view. A male officer conducting a strip search of a female on the side of the road would be a major violation of rights. So, what can you do in this situation? If a male officer tells you he is going to search you, you can and should calmly and clearly state, "Officer, I do not consent to this search." While this may not stop a pat-down if they have reasonable suspicion, it puts your objection on the record. You can also politely say, "I am not comfortable being searched by a man. I request that a female officer be present to conduct the search." The officer is not always legally required to grant this request for a simple pat-down, especially if they believe there's an immediate threat, but making the request is your right. If they insist on proceeding, do not physically resist, as that can lead to additional charges like resisting arrest. The key takeaway is this: for a pat-down of outer clothing for weapons, a male officer can search a female. For any more invasive search that goes under the clothing, it should be done by a female officer in a private setting. Knowing the difference is crucial to understanding your rights. Remember, this information is for educational purposes and is not legal advice. If you ever feel your rights have been violated, you should contact an attorney. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about your rights, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content.